Do you want to make an amazing iced lemon pound cakes that put Starbucks to shame, cost $5, and only takes 10 minutes to prep? Stick around through the episode. I'm going to show you all the secrets and even homemade cake flour. Starting off, we have our wet ingredients. We're going to use 300 grams of white sugar, followed by 1 stick, 114 grams of room temperature butter, and 10 grams of vanilla extract. The vanilla you could add now or you could add with the eggs. It won't really make much difference. And we're going to cream that nicely. Next is 3 large eggs, and you could crack one whisk, crack another whisk, crack the third whisk, but I do it all at the same time, just whisk like crazy. It works out just fine in the end. After this part, we're going to mix in 1 cup or 225 grams of sour cream. And again, whisk like crazy. You can't whisk enough here. You want everything to be as incorporated as absolutely possible. Now we are going to zest 1 lemon. This is a lemon cake after all. The micro grater is the absolute best tool here. You can see I'm just holding the lemon and moving the grater, and all the zest comes right into it. Now we're just going to plop it right into the batter. 1 last whisk to combine. Now we're ready for our dry part.
Alright, hey, quick break in the video to talk flour, and I'm going to try to be as brief as I can. So there's 3 components here. There's protein, there's price, and there's taste. So let's do protein real quick. Cake flour, really short and sweet, is 7 to 9%, all-purpose is 10 to 12. You want to have a lower protein percentage in a cake. So simple as that for protein. Let's talk price. This is $5. This is $2.40. I'm going to round up to $2.50 just to make it exactly half price. And then the cornstarch is also about $2.40. Let's break that down though, because you're getting a lot more all-purpose flour than cake flour. So you're getting about 2.5 times as much. So real quick math here, and I'm going to just do a total, so make it very easy to visualize. This is going to cost $1.10 per pound cake. This is going to cost 35 cents. So that may seem insignificant, but just think you are saving money. But what I also like about using all-purpose and cornstarch is I always have these in the pantry. It makes me feel kind of more cool, more do-it-yourself DIY, that's kind of me as a whole. I love to do things like that. And it also is a habit I take with me in other parts of my life. So whenever I'm buying something and I can save money, especially if it's a little hack like this, I absolutely do it. And I recommend you do as well. Why pay more for something if you don't need to? And the most important part, of course, the taste. So conservatively, I've probably made, I'm going to say at least 100-pound cakes in the last decade. For years, I just used cake flour solely. And then probably a year or 2 ago, I switched over to my all-purpose and cornstarch mixture. The real simple part, I noticed no difference in taste. No difference in texture. You might. I don't. The cakes taste great. People have absolutely raved about them, especially in the last year and a half. So to me, it's as simple as that. This is cheaper. There's no difference in the end product. So why am I using cake flour? Simple as that. Okay. Appreciate you listening to some math. Let's get back to the baking.
Part 2, our dry ingredients. So we have a couple pinches of baking soda. Again, our homemade flour. We have 30 grams cornstarch and 170 grams of all-purpose flour. We're then going to sift that in. Don't ask why the screen got a little yellow, but that will revert back to normal in a moment. And then a pinch of salt, or a teaspoon. Pretty much as simple as that. We're going to sift that into the wet ingredients. And then we want to gently mix it together. So you'll see I'm going to mix, but I don't actually have the mixer on. I'm just moving it around. And then I'm going to switch to a rubber spatula just to make sure all the little flour bits are incorporated. And that's that. The next step is we're going to do a really quick cleanup. And then we're going to grab our loaf pan and our parchment. And we're going to slowly, carefully pour the batter in. And I say that because if you go too quick, it has a tendency to get behind the parchment and it'll be a huge mess. Once the batter is all in though, it's nice and easy. It'll level itself out automatically. And then we just bake it. So I recommend baking 350 for 1 hour. Do a toothpick test when you're done just to be safe. Now moving on to the glaze. So we're going to use lemon juice this time instead of the zest because I don't want to make it too tart. So here I'm just juicing a lemon. Easy squeezy. We have 7 grams of good soft butter. 113 grams or a cup of Confectioners Sugar, which we're just going to sift as well as we can. 5 grams or a squirt of vanilla. 2 tablespoons of buttermilk. And a tablespoon and a half of lemon juice. Apologies, we're also going to have a pinch or 2 of salt to even out the flavors. And then it's just a question of combining. However, what you're going to see here is there's a lot of yellow chunks, meaning the butter didn't get incorporated well. And I did leave this in on purpose. Simple fix, pop it in the microwave for about 10 seconds, You're gonna whisk again. You can see everything's magically gone now and nice and smooth. However, we're gonna have to stick this in the refrigerator so it gets solidified a bit like it is here, nice and thick. So it's an extra step, microwave and then refrigerate for a bit, but it works great. And then here we go. Look at this beautiful icing. Again, it will be thick, and the purpose is essentially you get a layer, you let it dry for half a minute, and then another, and then another until it's done. So you'll have this maybe like 1/4 inch or so of icing at the top, and this is kind of what makes this cake what it is for sure. You can see, look at that, it's beautiful. Some nice drip. A little mess on the parchment, but came out fantastic.
If you look really close, you can actually see the little bits of lemon rind in there, so it should be nice and lemony. Oh, great. You could probably do the same thing with some orange, and use the rind and then use the juice for the glaze. It would work really well.
Future episode being worked on currently. I have 5 different flavors of pound cake, so stay tuned for that.